You over there? Yeah, you! Say, do you like playing card games? You know, like Genius Invocation TCG?
You TCG players are like mint in the wild.
Hey, come on now. What's wrong with finding fellow Invocation if... alright.
But why would you be looking for people to play Genius Invocation in a place like this?
Whether you're throwing down cards or throwing punches, it's all... There are lots of card players here in the fortress. When I saw you, I immediately thought, hey, even outsiders... Sure.
Great! Since you've been here longer than us, you need to flex your seniority a little bit, right?
I thought you would have already heard everything by now. All right, then. Did you have...
Why don't you pick? We'll let you know if we've heard it.
All right. Have you heard any strange... Then, did you know that there are some people who are always There are two guys who are always skulking around in the corners of corridors gossiping. The bigger guy is Quist. I never really found their gossip. If you're interested, you can...
Good to know.
Let me think. Sounds like you want to hear some... Oh, did you know that the Duke was also a convict?
Huh? Wait.
That's right. The Duke was an inmate just like you and me. Seems he was exiled here for committing some crime. To go from an ordinary inmate to becoming the manager of the Forbidden Zone? Sounds like something that someone just made up.
It's just a rumor we've been hearing, but no worries if you've...
Anything else? Not that I can think of, but...
Windblade!
Look! There are some people talking over there!
If you ask me, those pompous parasites on the surface act like they're all a bunch of aristocrats.
Hey, speak for yourself, mate.
Oh, you think you're special or something? If you're here, then you're just a convict like the rest.
I don't...
Hey, how cool would it be if the whole world was destroyed by a giant?
What kind of filthy bilgewater are you spewing? I have family. Listen, things ain't so great on the surface, but who says that you have to leave? I've heard that you can still stay here, and who wants to live in the...
And what makes you think they'd want to hire someone like you?
Whoa. Sounds like they're really unhappy. Speaking of which, Paimon never heard anyone use the... That's true. There's a group of people over there. Let's go.
So I said, that's not a faucet. Hey,
Oh, sorry for eavesdropping. Sounds like you were talking about...
What's the matter? They're just looking to join in.
hey, don't pretend like it's okay for them to just interrupt us like that. Yeah, fine.
You hear that, Quisto? What nice!
Your expressions tell me you're looking to hear some juicy info, am I right?
Really? Are we that...
You're kidding. How often does anyone get a personal tour led by His Grace himself? Practically everyone was talking about...
A little mistake, huh? I like the way you put it. You see, people with a good attitude...
Your group?
I'm Quisto, and this is Lavaroon. People usually call us the Bombshell Bros, but don't worry.
So, you two really like to gossip?
No. You don't get it. Knowing intelligence will make things... Whoa, all this info's worth something, you know?
I don't mind him. Quisto's always this way. Just play the welfare meals. Talk about the welfare meals.
Right. That meal we had yesterday was super delicious.
Is that so? To tell you the truth, I've been helping out with making those
Oh, so you're the one who made those delicious steaks.
You are correct. I am a true professional. In fact, since you like my cooking, I guess that means we share similar tastes. Listen carefully. Listen, kids. The power structure within the fortress is quite complicated. The overworlders couldn't care less about... You've already met the one person here you should never cross. The Duke, Risley. He knows...
Those who have the Duke's attention get all kinds of special perks. Even...
I know who you mean. It's that Jurier character, right?
But did you know that Jurier was a talented...
I don't care if he was a researcher that could turn dirt into Mora. Speaking of which, the...
You mean he hit a woman?
But that Lorvine's also quite the odd one, you know? She's always gabbing away.
Wait a second. Yep.
Do you think could it be that they're secretly meeting there to go on...
After all, I do remember...
Okay, we've talked to just about everyone, and it's about time for us to go meet Linny. According to the card he left us, we should go meet him in the production zone.
Seems to end.
Huh? That look in your eyes. You found something?
Hey, this is no time to be modest. Just tell him we found a boatload of...
Oh, as expected of the legendary duo. Huh. I'd have never guessed that myself. The rumors swirling about this place are unreliable after... He is a harbinger after all. I suppose he's much... Unfortunately, this isn't enough for our final report to Father. Father told me that even though Master Child said he was just coming...
His escape route is already flooded, so we'll have to task someone with professional diving...
Well, when you put it that way, it's obvious that only Fremine would...
Bingo! Is he...
He's working today. Coming here as a group would have attracted too much attention. I'll talk... It's the least I can do. We're all in this together. Honestly, I'm far more impressed by you guys managing to collect all this information right under...
Collecting information is...
Now, let me think. To find out more information, Fremine will have to... And if he's to do that, he'll have to set out on the next pipe cleaning day at the earliest. That's 6 days from now.
You can even estimate how long it'll take?
We've been working together for a long time. Traveler, what say you to meeting here? Oh, and there's just one last thing we'd like your help. Though we can just sit back and wait for Fremine's report on Master Child's whereabouts, we still need to make more Fremine's no master of disguise. Lynette's still working on getting intel.
What do you want us to do?
Well, I won't call it easy per se. Listen carefully. You'll need to find an excuse to get into the infirmary. You've mentioned several sketchy-looking people always meeting at the infirmary earlier. Investigate the internals, but also there's no need to take risks. My apologies.
But that's not a bad thing, right? All right, then we'll head out as soon as we...
Let's go our separate ways for now.
Hey, stay here for now. Paimon... There seem to be several people in...
Right. I feel like we...
It's not impossible.
Oh, it's a bit hard to understand them from here, so... Someone! Please help! He's sick!
Whoa, are you okay?
Oh my! What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before...
The traveler started complaining of a stomachache, and then nausea, and then collapsed onto the ground! Paimon doesn't... Freezing limbs, twitching fingers, and pale complexion?
Let me take a look. Please, lie down over here. Don't worry, I'll get you to the bed safely. Here, hold on to my shoulder and walk slowly.
You can do it, traveler!
Don't apologize. You're sick after all. Now, please relax. I'm just going to do a preliminary checkup on you. My checkup has confirmed that he's not in any mortal danger.
Eh? Oh, that's...
I'll continue my diagnosis of the patient now. Don't sense serious damage to your organs either. And here? Huh? But based on my initial checkup, there shouldn't be a... What about here? Does this... Oh. I understand. I think you just ate something that disagreed with you. That's all. Nothing too serious. Outside of a pretty bad...
So that's what it is.
And there have been other inmates complaining about the food recently. Oh, and congratulations! The health risk is incredibly low, so you should recover within a couple days. Miss Levine, I'll have to trouble you to help me look after this new patient.
Very well.
And she hopped away.
Hello. So how are you feeling now?
His stomach ache's really bad. He was stumbling about the whole...
If Miss Sijuin says it's not a serious problem, then there's no need to worry. She's the...
But it also looks like she's the
Well, that's true.
What do you mean, that's true? That's really misrepresenting the situation. Of course I can't speak for them. Though they may have committed crimes and gotten locked up here as a result, they still know a thing or two about—
Yeah, you're right. But did you have to lecture me about it in front of another patient?
That's correct.
Are you two also?
We've been sick a while. I come back every once in a while for checkups, and to pick up the medicines Miss Siegewein prescribed. You could say she fancies herself as Miss Siegewein's capable helper because she learned a bit of—
Please watch your mouth, Mr. Jurrier. Don't forget that you are the primary reason I have frequent heart pa—
Hey, don't start arguing now! Please, keep it civil! Hey! There's no need to fight! Everyone will be released some—
Release. It's way too early for us to even
Please allow me to end this boring and useless conversation. Oh,
And same to you, Miss Lorvine. Anyway, that was more than enough rest for me, so I'm going to get out of this excessive—
He just slowly walked off? Like that?
that's just— I'm sorry you had to see all of that. I'm Lorvine, and that's— well,
You really can't—
I mean, can you blame me? Look, who would like someone who's as arrogant and obsessed with weird research topics as he is? I'll accompany you two for a while. No, it's—
I'm back! Did you rest like you promised?
Thank you for getting our medicine, Miss Siegewein.
Did you all cooperate with your bed rest? I trust that nobody got up to walk around. Good. Here, this should be 2 Miss Lorvine, I left in a bit of a hurry just now. Do you still remember—
I remember.
Yellow, huh? I understand. These are yours.
All right, then I'll also be on my way now. I hope you feel better soon.
See ya!
I'm going to fill out your medical record now. You're widely known as the Traveler, right?
Those two made quite the commotion just now, so why don't we let the traveler rest? Paimon can
So his primary symptoms are abdominal pain with— Alright then.
Is there anything we should know besides to take the meds?
No, his base constitution is quite good, so I'm sure he'll recover quite quickly after taking the medicine.
Got it! Paimon will hold the traveler to that— Oh, you're going to take a nap already? We've been to lots of places together. He may look a bit under the weather now, but he's actually—
So you're the best of companions. You're awake.
How do you feel? You slept for a really long time, but
Well, now you can go back without a worry in the world. Remember—
Thank you, Miss Siegewein! You really are something. To be able to fall asleep like that and even sleep talk the entire time? No, but you kept mumbling things along the lines of, Pyron, go take my grilled fish, and Paimon talked with Sigewinne the entire time you were asleep. She seems like she's just a sincere nurse, and Paimon... Whoa! You really are super thorough! All those tiny little Today's the day! Let's go meet up with Linny!
Hmm? Did you two run into any trouble over the past few days?
No, we just worked our shifts according to the schedule.
That's good. That means you didn't raise any suspicions. We've taken a look at the slip you've sent. Fremine successfully left the grounds via the pipes 2 days ago. And as of last night, Lynette has also infiltrated the infirmary.
Wait, why is she getting involved as...
You already went above and beyond when you scoped out the infirmary. To put it more bluntly, even if we were to view that as some... Infiltrating a guarded stronghold is a different kind of job from a one-off investigation. Lynette also felt like you have already taken the first step for us, so she should be the one to finish the...
So that's what Lynette thinks.
Then, let's go check on Lynette before Fremine returns. If everything went well, then she should be...
Is now really a good time to...
According to my observations, Sigewinne always... Also, I'm her brother, remember? It's only natural...
Okay, then let's head over...
Lynette should be here right now. Huh. Strange.
As expected, Sigewinne isn't here, but why isn't Lynette here?
No, Lynette rarely deviates from the plan. We agreed unless...
Let's see if there are any clues around here. We can look what...
Okay.
There are some books here and a few files. They all... Advanced nursing, how to raise the spirit of your patient. These sure are some interesting books. She even has books on understanding people's motivations and...
Seems quite normal. None of the beds have any signs of having been slept in.
That's the one Lynette must have used, right? You said she was pretending...
She would have said her migraine was having... Which means either the head nurse didn't return the entire time from when Lynette laid down up until she left the bed.
This is it! We saw it before!
Wait, this thing? It doesn't look like it's been disguised that well. The space behind it is empty. From its size, I don't think it's an entrance that is meant to be taken apart. Could Lynette have tried to get inside? But if that's the case, she would have... Let's look around here for some more clues.
Hey, you guys, there's a slip of paper!
A slip of paper?
It's right over here, and there's a bunch written on it too. It reads, "Out of respect for your usual practices, I'll use a piece of paper or card as the medium to pass on my..."
This is...
Is that all? The back.
Show me! Now!
That look on your face. Would you care to guess where Miss Lynette of the Fatui could be right now? No. Could you...
Wriothesley. Did he deliberately leave the infirmary?
Wait, you mean he was aware of our goals from the...
Yes, that is a crucial question. Wriothesley, he doesn't do anything with... You're not from the same camp as us. You were sent down here by Nervulet, so you have no conflict of interest with Wriothesley. I'd like to know that too. Don't panic, just think everything over. I have to stay calm. Wait, you're right. The fact that Fremine was able to leave the grounds... Could Wriothesley have let him...
What does he gain by letting Fremine...
So he's challenging me and trying to... We never should have sent out Fremine. We had to go through all that trouble to find an opening to sneak him around the guard. If Wriothesley let him leave on purpose, then he's probably in a terrible spot.
Lenny's getting more and more panicked. We have to go... Don't be like this, Lenny. Fremine wouldn't have left if we hadn't told you about Child.
No. I'm the leader of this operation, and I'm the one responsible for this...
Hey, don't be reckless! Traveler...
I simply cannot allow Lynette to be abducted. I have to go.
He's rushed out the door! After him!
Right. I feel like we still have some room to make changes on these...
It's not impossible, but it'll require extensive testing.
Is that so? There... Huh?
Is someone?
Pack everything up. Whoever's outside is eavesdropping. They'll probably come in...
Someone! Please help!
Whoa, are you okay?
These two. As expected. What a delightful turn of events. I like smart people, but I also like playing dumb. Oh my! What's wrong, little one? Being able to read human expressions is quite the useful skill.
Wait! It's no use. We have to catch up to him. He's already out of sight. How is he so fast? Let's go head him off at Wriothesley's office.
Come out and face me, Wriothesley!
Aren't we at an administrative office space? Why don't you at least try to follow?
What did you do to my sister?
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea. I do have some teas.
Stop joking around! Where did you take my siblings?
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Miss Lynette would sometimes enter a box filled with water. Maybe she'll appear behind you right now.
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? No, he's probably not looking to attack me right now. All of the hostages are in his hands, and You knew we were investigating the infirmary from the start, so you deliberately aroused the Traveler's suspicion. As for Fremine, no, you probably didn't even interfere with Child's escape. You let him go, so you could purge the Fatui member.
There was no need to do so. The fortress of Meripede is a pretty pleasant place. Most people enjoy their lives here.
You removed our original members and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our team to come down and investigate. Fremine has also fallen into your hands.
One correction. Lynette is in my hands right now, but...
He's not. What?
Lenny!
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here, so I'll only need to say this once. Eager and to the point, I see. Alas, only Miss Lynette is currently having a cup of the fortress's fine. Although, as per your original plan, Mr. Fremine should also have returned to the fortress by now. But he has neither shown up within my gates, nor has he been...
Wait, you can't... You locked him outside in the sea?
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside world.
Fremine's a star diver, so he should be fine, right?
No, we're still here, so he definitely tried to find a way to come back for us. So we can't assume he...
But why would I do this, you may be asking? To have an audience with you, of course. My intel tells me that Mr. Linney is a great magician, so it's only... Besides, I do recall you mentioning to Miss Lynette that you've always wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with...
So, you've been keeping tabs on us before...
Some of my folks just happened to hear a thing or two, that's all. In any case, I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together here. But once you started focusing on the Mr. Linney, the cards are stacked against you right now. Miss Lynette is in my hands, and Mr. Fremine is still slowly being picked. You need do but one thing to guarantee their safety. I would like you to contact your...
You want to see Father? But why should she bother giving you...
Well... If she cares for the well-being of her dearest children, she should have plenty of motivation to join. I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of the Hearth are like the bonds of family.
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the Fortress of Meripede? This place is basically a no-man's land. It wouldn't be fitting for anyone as important as a harbinger like Father to...
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here. That's such a shame. After all I've imagined...
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much pressure you may...
You people really are difficult to get along with. All I'm asking for is a face-to-face conversation. Mr. Linney, you have one last chance to invite your father here.
Lenny!
Instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective for a second? From the I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found, but that only caused you to double down. Had you... Mr. Fremine left the fortress on his own, and Miss Lynette tried to pry out my secrets right in front of me.
I shouldn't ask Father to do anything because...
6.
Wait,
2. Time's up.
Risley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave, ladies and gentlemen.
Listen to the Traveler! If you can't talk to Lenny, can you...
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of Neuvillette, yes? You're here helping him out, and I've already... But that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. The fortress may be small and remote, but it still has its own... Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf by now, so I'll ask you 3 questions. Answer all of them correctly, and I'll agree to your request. Question 1. Regarding the hidden rules of the production zone, what is the truth behind the one about...
I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. But what could see... The Fanta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. Meanwhile, the research notes said that the Melazine race perceives the world very differently from humans. According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place... I've been told that the infirmary is all... The Fanta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of... According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place... The research notes said that the Melazine race perceives the world very differently from humans. As a result, the Melazine... Fanta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged product. But the product has... We often see Miss Sijween observing the prison... Fanta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged product. But the... According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fanta company... The research notes said that the Melazine race perceives the world very differently from humans. As a result, the Melazines have... The Fanta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of... I've been told that the infirmary is... Fanta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed... I've been told that the infirmary... The research notes said that the Melazine... I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fanta company sponsored it. The Fanta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. Meanwhile, the Duke believes that only... The research notes said that the... According to Collins, the The research notes said that the... I've been told that the infirmary...
So that's what's going on. Paimon understands the hidden rule of the production zone. People are not supposed to work 3 days. At first we thought this strange meat must have something to do with the people who disappeared. She often visits the production zone to observe the workers' health and makes a note of it out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her genuine concern. Sijween has only the best intentions with her surprise gift. Unfortunately, Melazines as a race perceive the world differently from you. The recipients of her lovingly prepared... Are we on the right track?
Not bad. You've uncovered Sijween's secret and even guessed her intentions correctly as well. It's nice to... All right, now for my next question. There are also some hidden rules in the Pancration ring, including the one that you're not allowed to support both sides of a fight.
I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. Fanta's internal report suggests that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed... According to Collins, the research notes said that the... I've been told that the infirmary is... I've been told that the infirmary is... I've been told that the infirmary... I've been told that the infirmary is always... The Fanta promoter has been struggling According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fanta company We often see I've been told that the infirmary is always... I've been told that the infirmary... According to Collins... Fanta's internal report suggests... We often see Miss Siege... The research notes said that the Fanta promoter has been struck...
Paimon gets this rule too now! So they're really... That hidden rule of the Pancration ring is about how, people are not supposed to bet on both, but people get scared when they see it because they've subconsciously begun to associate, but really, it's just a bottle of the latest yet-to-be-named and packaged, a blood-red drink. It's no wonder the company, facing backlash from its own staff, decided to try. They came to the fortress of Meropide, and the Duke, knowing how valuable coupons are in the fortress, and so...
I acknowledge the effort you've put into bringing the... Although, based on your description, that Fanta promoter is a bit too careless with his words. I may just reconsider. All right, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Risley! You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question! The thought of spare... You'll pay for this!
Lenny, are you alright?
Oh, close one. I owe you...
It was nothing, Your Grace.
Sigewinne?
Though this gun may look like a toy, it's actually fully functional.
Sigewinne...
Not at all. I am merely a resident of the fortress, and thus, when Monsieur Nervulette asked me to come here, he told me that my job would be to take...
But if you mean what you just said, then isn't Linny someone you should be looking after?
But I really am just doing what Monsieur Nervulette told me to do. Everything I do... His Grace knows it too, right? Your...
My dear Sigewinne, whatever shall I do with you? Would it have killed you?
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you do things can be truly frustrating sometimes,
What are you talking about?
Take me if you want.
How touching. Can you just give...
Don't be like that, Your Grace.
All right, everyone, calm down. I'll go get a cup of tea. Miss Sigewinne, I leave Miss Lynette.
You...
I believe I hear footsteps.
Some space, please.
Ah, Miss Clarande. My door.
Freminet...
What's going on? What is Clarande doing here?
Work.
I'm sorry about shooting you, Mr. Linney. The tranquilizing effect will begin to wear off soon. Please take it easy in the...
What happened to Freminet? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like...
flushed face, an accelerated pulse. He must have consumed primordial seawater.
What did you say?
Please, make some space. I'll need to give Mr. Fremine a more thorough checkup.
I'll talk to Clorand while you get Fremine to where he needs to be. Everything else can wait.
What's that look on your face? I thought I made good time on the way back.
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a few minutes later, Sigewinne may have been How's the situation out there?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. The concentration of I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. But if one were to stay for any significant...
Where was he when you found him?
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes. A good distance into the water.
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized it early on and...
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a knack for picking out who had good
That's it. Want some tea?
Not particularly.
Fine, I'd like to get some tea.
Might as well then, I suppose.
How is he?
These symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of a large amount of primordial seawater. Of course, it would be best if he stayed for further observation. Let's leave him here for now. Sorry. I am aware that the infirmary may not be your favorite place in the world.
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial seawater after leaving the fortress?
Please, look after Mr. Fremine for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator.
Where is she? How is she right...
Oh, she just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her. If my calculations are correct, she should also be waking up right around now.
Linny, are you okay?
I'll be fine.
Are you sure?
My hands and feet are still a bit weak, but that's probably...
I'm back, everyone.
Lenny! Oh. Fremine?
He'll be fine. But for now...
His breathing's beginning to slow down.
Give me a hand and help me get him to the
Yeah, I'll take him from this...
On it.
Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. Want to come with us?
The Duke and Clorand are gone.
They probably went to get some tea. The Duke will explain the truth in just a bit.
He's awake.
Lenny.
We're all here.
The infirmary at the Fortress of Mirapede, Mr. Fremen.
How do you feel?
Traveler. The sea. There's something wrong with the sea.
Shh, it's okay.
No, listen to me. This is really serious. Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now. Where could Master Child be? This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it? It's getting stuck on something. Seems like I'll have to avoid those obstacles while I turn it. This is where the water starts. Master Child probably dived in. The vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. There are traces here too. I need to keep going. Huh? The traces are gone. But I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait. What the... My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. What's going... No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it. I can't die here. This... I have to push on.
So, in other words, the trail you were following vanished, and you had no idea.
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some distance between myself and the fort.
Miss Clarande brought you back, but we also don't know why she just suddenly appeared at the fort.
Miss Clarande, you say?
You're still too weak for Monet. Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarande will stay here as a guest for another few days, so there's no need to hurry.
A guest? Then I can assume Risley...
You should ask His Grace about that.
Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on.
No, please go on without me.
Lenny.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to
Understood. In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you.
Thank you.
I take it Mr. Fremenet's condition has stabilized?
Of course! I wouldn't have left the
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit?
I wanted to check up on Miss Cloran.
Mostly fine.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical...
All right.
Well, want to explain yourself, Risley?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have?
Then Paimon will begin. Did you know...
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific...
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know...
They came here with ulterior motives. Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Child's disappearance. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he... Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained disappearance. I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went, so I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work. All I care about is the answer.
So you were hoping Linny's group would just do your work for you!
You make it sound like that's... The Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's...
Are the rumors true?
Why would you put it like that?
Oh, right! Paimon wanted to ask...
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for... As a champion duelist, Miss Cloran could be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptionally capable person...
And saving Fremene was part...
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is... That's not something you should be asking after. Nevertheless, all I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbingers...
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions...
You make a compelling case.
Yeah, Paimon really wants...
Even if the truth may not be pleasant, follow me.
Door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Risley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the fortress... Stand on the central plate.
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa! So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so... What a huge dome!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's... Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui...
Well,
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place.
So there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
Whoa! They all just went up one by one!
Go on, have a... I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle is... Normally, I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that... Later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial... Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently conclude that the
concentration of primordial sea...
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Yes.
But forget about the two of us. Not even Neuvillette knows where the primordial sea could be, much less where we could... Oh.
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels have risen significantly, and the indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already... If this continues... Soon it... Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into...
But that's just... too weird!
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, it's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before... There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. What we know about its history has been left to us. When the previous Hydro Archon, Egeria, ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the death. Some of them began to repent and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro... And so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. As the number of exiles increased, more and more people... The Hydro Archon continued to lend her support. And with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress... Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their... After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from an elderly historian. Everyone else just thought he'd...
But now you know every part of that history.
Indeed. It's just as the... To be frank, not really. But sadly, prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will... Let's go somewhere else. This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone!
Huh? Lord...
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
What? After you warned us not to tell...
I'm skeptical as well. Are you
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you...
All right then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest-ranked researchers from the Fontaine... Good. Edwin's main areas of research were Archeum and gravimeters. As his assistant...
You want to...
What a lovely idea. I'm already imagining it in my head.
Gotta admit, untempted as...
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants.
Ooh, are they together?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a...
Your Grace,
If I dated her, I'd officially be
Jeez, forget I said... Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
What a huge... This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before.
How much do you know about Fontaine? Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine used to be ruled by the Lemurian dynasty. According to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, he called his nation Lemuria and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them to join his empire.
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of it.
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor and materials, so the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate...
Were you inspired by the legendary...
Maybe. Fontainians need something to hold. Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress fast. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never make such a reckless call. Alright, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another 3 cups of tea. Seems like you're good. I'll leave you here for now.
Oh!
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do...
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for...
Great.
Welcome back. Do you...
How can you be so much like Risley? Always drink...
Huh. Actually, not while I was sedated, I could still barely hear 2 people talking next to me.
Must have been Risley and Sejuin.
Yeah, I heard 1 male voice and 1 female, so...
I really can't make sense.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to...
Yeah, he explained...
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations? Yeah, I took the time to rest, so...
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sejuin is also...
All right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself 3. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea. My theory...
Ooh, he's good!
That's our Lenny.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first. I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring... What's more, the Fortress of Meripede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it... As long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father... If I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself.
You're super smart!
Thanks so much. If Risley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has something to do with the that can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary, and there's something big in the fortress that I don't have enough information.
The sea will engulf everyone.
Could Risley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to deal with this crisis? If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to...
Or perhaps he didn't know, and just wanted to bring Father over to his side?
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. I'll figure out... The 2 of you have already aided us far too much. If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to the House of the... Though you may not share the sentiment...
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Linny when it...
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden?
Given your strength, you might not need her.
Aw, the sound of that makes... Paimon's hungry.
Oh, you've done...
Alright, then we'll catch you guys... as well!
Traveler Paimon! Over here!
Are you here for dinner too, Miss Sijween?
Mm-hmm. And I'm taking the opportunity to prepare Miss
Huh. You're right!
What would you like to eat? Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Walsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like.
Me too! Don't forget...
No problem.
So delicious. Paimon's so happy.
Feeling full yet? How's the food?
Delicious!
I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, see, the expression on your face.
Sijween, do you do this to help your patients, or...
A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melusine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to...
You're really good at taking care of people.
Really? You're reminded of an older sister?
Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's office? When you said that you were
Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. Thankfully, Glorand is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also sealed the pipes after Glorand left, but to make sure that Linne wouldn't... Although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards. Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linne as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't allow it.
You were all super considerate.
It's just what we do down here at the fortress. Oh, I really wish Monsieur Nervula would come down here more often, Tip. Get a good night's rest, you, Tip.
Much has happened. I'm super sleepy.
Delicious.
what happened? Why is it? No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking!
Who's What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey! What are you doing?
No time to explain, mate. Goodbye!
Hey! What's wrong with these people? They won't—
They're here! There you are!
Oh, thank goodness!
Quisto and Laveroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. Laveroon was saying—
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it so—
Hey! Shut—
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us. Yeah, he said to get us
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Whoa, wait, what? What? Hey!
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
Hey! Be careful!
Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
They're here.
Just like I said.
What happened?
You're just in time. But be ready to run. Three, two, one.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Then what will happen to you?
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House immediately. Farina will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina, and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone with her. Will do. You have my sincerest gratitude.
Look! There are a ton of Fatilian Palais Mermonia people over there!
Are you two the traveler in Paimon? Monsieur Nervalet, though I'm sure he's already explained the ship.
Oh, so you two are the honored guests, Miss...
Of course, of course! How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more...
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments.
I've already prepared seats for you.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together. See this? This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adored.
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste of... I wonder how he's doing nowadays.
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something.
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. Coming from you, that's...
But I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat...
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry. We know for...
Oh, and...
Because we found out...
And where did he go after leaving the fort?
Well...
The fortress of Meripede lies deep beneath... Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel...
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long...
Hold on. The what?
I suppose this is also a sign of things.
I don't...
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure.
Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
Day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled, and the waters burst forth. But it is not this day! This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
All right. Seems like the problem...
Let me guess. We're safe for now.
Indeed.
I win this bet.
Very well. It was...
You made a bet?
We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come...
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appeared...
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now?
So what gift must the loser give?
He already has tons of tea in his office.
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of...
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be out...
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be...
That was obviously... Anyway, you've still got some unfinished...
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Pelé.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the Fatu...
I must say, we've spent long and Miss Farina. As the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomena.
What are you trying to...
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontanian. Yet, here you are, relaxing, drinking tea, and the prophecies hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the... But you? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been.
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence.
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the... Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are...
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Fontaine will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future...
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on? Where can...
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only...
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not
As
an emergency.
Oh, that look in your eye.
The emergency response plan is...
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the purpose, and what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of...
The Oratrice? It's...
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, it would seem that someone is not you, Miss Farina. I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Nouvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss...
Yeah, yes.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Farina, Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here. There are still a few slices of cake left. Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you too, Pipe?
Thank you. Paimon will take... Oh, Paimon's super...
If it's on my...
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be... It is getting late. Why don't we call it a day?
Very well. We'll...
Mind seeing me off, Traveler?
Paimon's coming too!
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings with him.
That's what Paimon thought!
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father. Do I look like an irresponsible... That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings, and informal topics in informal settings. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of it.
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried to stop them. Especially Linny.
You mean Wriothesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. By the way, and you can just... You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to...
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the fortress.
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for... Forget it. He did give us an I will be meeting...
Do you require help with any preparation?
No need. I will take... I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She...
Oh? You dare to run from me?
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect that anything left unguarded is usually just... It's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The hydronosis is... In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And...
Who are you? And what...
The fear in her pupils is genuine. So perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried. There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro. I have to find the Gnosis.
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please.
News from the fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing.
Probably the handiwork of that ride.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a Harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the Fontaine authorities. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Oh, and I have...
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this as my excuse, the initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the fortress of Meripede will be... You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you.
You attacked the High...
It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even for... I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leader... I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service... Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings off. It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. It looks like Fontainians will have no choice but to save themselves. Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. Should the need arise, I would be happy to cooperate with you. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly.
Neverlet, is it over?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. Thank you for protecting Farina. To put it simply... So as expected, permission granted.
Whoa. You can't tell us?
If by the phrase, you guys, you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics. I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history. It has seen much grief and suffering. And now, another catastrophe will soon be upon us.
Huh? What?
You may be closer to the truth than you think.
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... Huh?
Please do not be so... My apologies.
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the
You guessed correctly.
Right, of course. There's still something...
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the dragon sovereign of water, and you were able to force back... Then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater, couldn't you just use...
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world. Myself, they say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today...
There are 7 elemental archons and 7 matching dragon sovereigns.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Ark... Given the status quo, however...
Oh, so even you can't...
I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office.
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon wants to go too. Traveler, why don't... We'll see you another time.
Take care.
Come a little closer.
Dodge this! Wind blade! With the wind! Freeze! Yeah.
Go, Barret Bunny! Let it rain!
Come a little closer. Try not to enjoy.
Cool it! Wind blade!
You're in for a little shock.
Dodge this! Oh, so sorry. Yeah. Wind blade!
Come a little closer.
Disappear! Freeze!
Get him!
Cool it! Wind blade! Freeze!
No one escapes my sights!
Dodge this! Freeze!
Go, big...
Come a little. You're in for a little.
Let it rain.
Cool it!
Ad Astra Abyssosk. Thank you for
Now guess, what suit will this...
Well, well, look who it is.
Traveler, Paimon.
Looks like you're recovering nicely from an...
Mm-hmm. Thanks to every... Oh, right. I met...
Whoa, how did...
She told me that it was nothing. It was as if saving...
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all.
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out. We went back to the
You meant father? Did she say...
She said a few things that were...
Her attitude towards you is even better than what we'd imagined. That's... You should believe her. She has her own way of doing things, and she'll do...
Mm-hmm. Father is very capable, and also trustworthy.
Oh, Paimon just remembered that she thought Lenny was a bit too proud as well. She said that you should learn how to rely on
That does sound like...
Hey!
Are you going to stay here for the next...
Looks like it, yeah?
Excellent. I will hope...
For real? Then Paimon...
Another implies that you are all... Well, next time...
Traveler, Paimon, are you still doing all right?
We're fine, but what about you guys?
A few people sustained superficial injuries. Of course, we must...
How did Nervalet know that he was needed?
I'm sure Nervalet has strong resonance with the hydro element. When the water level rises, I ran into the bombshell bros while bandaging the injuries of the wounded. They were mumbling the whole time. If you're not too pressed for time, just let me know if you get a crate. I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more...
You guys are back.
You guys didn't get caught in...
Huh? No!
And here I thought you'd managed to escape from jail during all the commotion.
We're sorry, but we just had some business.
All right, there's no need to get caught up in the...
Hey, it wasn't just me.
Something like... I was also transferred to work in the kitchen a few days ago. I can still... Whenever he'd say that, I'd...
Hey, there's...
These two... They sure are a lot warmer and friendlier than when
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be...
Courier?
Yeah, I was working on...
That's no excuse for... Huh?
Courier, Lurvine, where...
Hello there. It's been quite the mess here recently.
And you? Are you still taking the secret passage?
Yep. That is still top...
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of people in the infirmary, but...
I mean, the infirmary does...
Oh, yeah? Then...
You two really are just using your jobs as a cover for your relation...
Not at all!
Do my eyes deceive me, or did I just see two inmates come back after...
We wanted to see how the fortress is doing.
We're fine, for the most part. Neuvillette came down.
If that's the case, why don't you just ask him...
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. He came here in a hurry and left without even
He sure sounds...
Miss Clorand has left as well. She also took...
Were the gifts milkshakes?
Neuvillette got the milkshake. Clorand...
Those aren't even remotely alike.
Well, it's Neuvillette's own fault for making Sigewinne worried about his health by working so much. But besides that, our head nurse is still pretty fun. Oh, and I have some gifts here.
Are these from Sigewinne too?
Nope, they're from yours. You've already wrapped up your work at the fortress, so you can return to the surface at any time.
For real? Then we could stay here for...
You may access the cafeteria for free. Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for your...
Windblade! With the wind!
We're back in our cell again. We're no longer prisoners. Sure feels that way. Huh? How did you know? Hey, that's not It's like we've now gone to so many places together and become friends with so many people. There are so many bad things in the world, and we're just... You're counting Paimon today? Aren't you? Then let's ask Catherine to give Paimon an adventurer handbook as well. Just our thoughts making Paimon giddy. Paimon's gonna crash, so you sleep soon too. The last time we fell asleep here, we woke up to a whole mess outside our cell. The primordial... We should be safe now, right? Alright then, good night to you, Traveler.
Rain outlines your fate. Rain cutter.
Judgment is upon you.
Your penance is due!
I'll settle this. Witness the power of Gugwa.
Through me, justice is served! Guilty! Be still.
Out of the frying pan, it's and step.
Let's light it up.
Mind the deluge. Cascade.
You're grand I'm going in. Booba, get them. You're toast.
The depth back.
Here, please! I summon thee! Wings of darkness! Come, sever...
Ready, steady, go! I'll protect us. Service with a smile!
By royal decree! Shadow Raven! Let night...
Coming through!
Not here, please!
Nice and swift!
Out of my way!
Surrender immediately.
Freeze!
Lightning purified! Stand with me!
Come a little.
You